then what we have for these 3 days, the events, NAICE 2023 programs. We're starting from now the opening ceremony. We are going to get the insights into the state of the industry, policy, direction, and strategy from government decision makers and business leaders. Now, we shall all have the opportunity to enjoy social interactions, deliberations on lease conversion and frontier basin development enablers and challenges in the Petroleum Industry Act.
Yeah, look, I think it's a very valid theme here. And, you know, as we start to battle within balancing, and let's focus on that word, balancing, energy accessibility, affordability, and sustainability. And how do we do that as a country? How does we do it as far as companies? And how does the thing evolve over the years? So Seplat is very passionate about this. Seplat, obviously, for everyone who doesn't know us, is we're operating, we're in 7 blocks, all onshore. We have upstream oil and gas and midstream gas processing. And obviously, we're looking to expand out that transition strategies. Let's just lay out this triangle here, which is at the top there is really access to energy, stroke energy security. And that's what you've seen over the years, people moving backwards and forwards. I think it's really prevalent, the energy security. Okay, so access to energy, we put at the very top. Then we have affordability. And then we have sustainability. And we have this in the middle, this energy transition. So we look at Nigeria and Africa largely anchored between affordability and access to energy, stroke energy security. And then the sustainability, you know, to move into the sustainability world and through energy transition, you've got to have access to energy, right? And you've got to have affordable energy. You've got to have all of those things before you can then move into sustainability in a big scale. And it's very important that that's fully understood, particularly when you have the split between the rich north, if you want to call it that, and developing south. There's a lot of debate on sustainability and transition, but actually it can't be at the cost of access to energy. So I don't think there's anyone in the room that will debate whether there is climate change happening. I think it's fair to say that it is. And there is an urgent need to decarbonize throughout the world. Nigeria has signed up, of course, to a lot of these initiatives. It's the signatories of the Paris Agreement and passed the climate change bill back in November 21, which sets out what Nigeria is going to do in energy transition. Energy companies are shifting investment towards renewables, but you see a slight pullback on that. You've seen obviously BP, Shell have come out and redefined what this really means in terms of it can't be at the cost of doing business. There's increasing ESG pressures from shareholders and banks and funders, and you hear radical calls of not investing at all in fossil fuels, which is quite frankly a crazy idea and will cause more chaos. Let's look at climate reality. We've talked a lot about that, volatility, extreme weather, and I think Africa is probably being one of the most affected by a lot of floods, droughts, and everything else, extreme weather events. This impact on food, feeding people, etc. In Africa's reality is 600 million Africans don't have any access to electricity. Almost 1 billion Africans use biomass for cooking. And this also has health issues. There's just less than 500,000 deaths related to biomass cooking. We're reliant on fossil fuel export, and I think the key next point there is we have a right to use our resources to develop. Final thing to say is that we must, in the ESG world, there's an E and an S, and so we need to balance the E and the S. The social development is so critical So the North and South must work together in a very balanced way. The North is very focused on E because S is less of an issue. In the South, E and the S are critical. And we must balance energy security with affordability and sustainability. So thank you very much.